Good evening, back again, John Augustine. I just want to make a Kerry, the kingdom, uh, a lovely county full of scenery. And when we were going down towards to see Daniel O'Connell's home twice, then we went down to view it and be learn all about it and all the rest of it. And it's a long journey even from the stall, 2.5 hours or more, and narrow roads and all the rest of it. But I noticed he was a Catholic. He was the liberator, and known as for the Catholic emancipation that we got in 1829. And the Taoiseach Micheál Martin was in Kerry, and for once described him as what he was, the Catholic emancipation. But he sort of seemed to widen the thing and talk about other religions. Well, Micheál Martin, it was Catholic emancipation that Daniel O'Connell got because the Protestants at that stage were in charge, and Catholics were not allowed to practice their Catholic faith. Had to get mass on mass rocks. Do you know anything about that, Micheál Martin? I presume you do, because you couldn't be that ignorant about the past. But to mention Daniel O'Connell, for Catholic emancipation, so as we could practice our Catholic faith, which you got in 1829, and not too long after that we had the famine, where 1 million of our brothers and sisters died. You never seem to refer to these things, Mr. Martin, and I think perhaps you should, but you shouldn't confuse Daniel O'Connell with other faiths. This is a step too far, Mr. Martin. You're the Taoiseach and you should know what's correct. Daniel, we didn't persecute Protestants, it's the other way about. The land was taken from our brothers and sisters. Did you know that, Mr. Martin? And we lived in hovels and died of starvation, nothing to live on. And the people that took the land off us hated us. You wouldn't got to look at Anton, and even in Kenmare, there's a history there. It was the poor Kerr nuns that brought employment to Kenmare in 1861. Had taught lace mason to the girls and carpentry to the boys. And the lace making become famous. It was beautiful. It's a great history there, and that you should visit it. And I'm surprised that you didn't visit and learn something about our history and the persecution. But it was the nuns brought good. Give them credit where credit is due, not their sort of nonsense about what the watches are at, as if the nuns were evil or something. They did a lot of good. So they did. They didn't bring in abortion like what you are bringing in. Where's them babies buried that's aborted? That's what you want to answer for, Mr. Martin. But it's just as well you spoke about Daniel O'Connell in the context of the Catholic emancipation, but don't confuse it with other religions. It was Catholic emancipation that we got, and not alone did we get it here. I think they got it in Britain at the same time because they were persecuted, couldn't practice their Catholic faith. And don't forget, we are celebrating this year the 400th anniversary of St. Albert Plunkett, the Archbishop of Armagh, who was hung, drawn, and quartered in Tyburn in London by the evil British, making out that he was looking for some help from France. Rubbish, lies of the worst order, but then they wouldn't know the truth if it hit them in the puss. And you want to be careful when you're talking about and be truthful, that type of thing. But anyway, you do your best. I'm not disputing that whatsoever, but I just hope the record can be recognised for what it was. Daniel, and I saw a video there, film for 15 minutes and gave the history, and it was great what he did. He became a barrister. I don't know how he did, because I thought education was denied to anybody Catholic. Apparently his family had to had to use Protestant funds or something so as their money wouldn't be taken from them, which is what was happening. Land was taken from them, so they had to do something like that to protect themselves. Otherwise, they'd be starving on the side of the road like everybody else. So, boy, now I just thought I'd mention that to put the record straight as best we can. Boy, now. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Sun is shining at the moment. Yet I was talking about gales of wind and floods. Bye now.